This is my series of sharing my Aligned Success experiment here in videos. And I'm not even sure what day this is, and I don't feel like going back to watch the last video to figure out which one was the last one. I kind of think but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's another video of my 30 days of sharing my Aligned Success experiment, and it's another time where I've had several days in a row where I didn't have either the time or the energy to record a daily video. So I've let myself have that time off. And in truth, today my energy is still pretty low. And I thought it was a great opportunity to talk about one of the things that is definitely a struggle for me often when there are things that I want to do. There are plans that I have. There's something that I would like to be able to accomplish, and I know what the steps are to accomplish that, but my body doesn't want to cooperate. My energy doesn't want to cooperate, and I actually feel really, really tired and don't want to do or have the energy to do the things that I know that I need to do and actually that I want to do. And there's a part of me that gets frustrated when the energy isn't there when I want it to be, because it isn't that I don't want to do the things. It isn't that I don't want to work or I don't want to move forward on the plans that I have or accomplish things. But a lot of times I don't have control over the amount of energy that I feel. And for me, that can be often very frustrating. And so that's one of the things that when we do, especially if you're non-sacral or even if you are sacral and your energy's not there and you have things that you want to do, how do you navigate that? Do you just push through and try to dig deep to find willpower, or do you start that activity and see if the energy will come up to support it? Or do you give yourself that time and space to rest? And I think for all of us, that might have a different answer depending on the day. But I also believe that's something that is important for all of us to experiment with, because there are times when we find the motivation, somehow we dredge up the willpower or whatever it is we use to get ourselves to do the thing that we know that or we think that we should do, especially if the mind thinks we should do it. And a lot of times it just doesn't work out well to push through and do it. You won't enjoy it. You're going to wear yourself out even more. You won't necessarily be happy with the results that you've achieved or the work that you've put in as much as you would have if the energy had been there. And sometimes it is our body's way of signaling that it's not the right time to do the thing. But sometimes we need to learn the lesson the hard way. For me, that's definitely true. I'm definitely one of those people that needs to learn things the hard way. If someone says, don't do that, I almost always have to do it and push through anyway. But it's interesting too, what happens if you do let yourself have that downtime? What happens if you don't listen to that mind, the voice inside of your mind that's telling you you have to do it anyway, even if you don't feel like it, and all of the other reasons why you should do it anyway? Or those kind of conditioned habits that we have of pushing through anyway. And just notice what happens if you don't do it. Do the bad things that you imagined were going to happen if you didn't do it, do they happen? Do you get the negative blowback or feedback from other people around you? Does it mean that, it's never actually going to get done? Or do you find that when you give yourself that space and time to rest and then you come back, that it gets done even faster? Or maybe you realize it didn't actually need to get done. That's definitely happened to me, where I've had something planned and then didn't have the energy and thought about canceling and wouldn't let myself, and then something happened that made that thing move, and I realized my body didn't actually need to find the energy or the motivation to do that thing, and it was okay to not feel guilty or feel bad or feel shame around not having the energy to do it, because it really just wasn't even meant to happen in the first place. So those kind of experiences are really, really interesting. And sometimes it requires us to let ourselves have that permission to experiment with it. And sometimes that experimentation might be you push yourself even though the energy wasn't there. And sometimes it might be the experiment of letting yourself not do it and see what happens on the other side. But yeah. So just something to experiment with, to play with. And that is a big part of this experiment that I'm taking on. And, there were definitely lots of days that like I remembered that I still have videos I've recorded that I haven't posted yet, or that, you know, I didn't stick to that daily schedule that the algorithm on social media would have done better with if I'd been posting every day. Ooh, kicking the stand. You know, or there's that voice that says too, like maybe you just record all the videos and then you wait and you start over and you start from day one and you release them in a way where you already have it all set up and you can just post and have it go every 30 days. And maybe, you know, maybe that's something I'll do. Maybe I'll even create a whole new profile or a whole new account that has that, and just see, that can be another experiment. Does it actually do better? Do people receive it better if I wait and do something that way? But yeah, so it's all about honoring your energy and not feeling guilty when the energy's not there to do the things that you think you should or have to do. All right, I've rambled enough for this video. Thanks for watching to the end. If you're still here with me, I appreciate you so much. I hope you're having an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next video.